everyone, it's me Madison. So today I'm going to be doing a video that I did last year, which is an assumptions video, and I'm going to do it this year because it may be an annual thing. If you don't notice, yes, I'm sitting in my bed because I have nothing else to do, and yes, I've got LED lights, and also because I'm lazy. This is why I'm sitting in my bed, because I'm a little bit lazy as well. Right now, I feel a little bit lazy right now. So let's work on some assumptions. Okay. You don't want to be in the army anymore. Okay. Now, to be fair, I don't know what I want to do anymore. Because there is many things I want to do. Obviously, I want to be in the army. But at the same time, due to my asthma and kind of due to the fact that people have told me, what if you don't get in? You just don't have any potential. People in school have actually kind of told me this. And it starts off with people knowing class. Due to that, I feel like I can't. I feel like they're right, but at the same time they're wrong. My dad was a Royal Engineer, if you don't already know, and he did it at 16. So I feel like I really want to be in the army just to make my dad proud and kind of to tell my parents that there is this side of me, and that they've kind of never seen. But also, I feel like with the army, it can help me a bit, physically and mentally. And I feel like with the army, it can get you more focused. And yeah, I do like the idea of being deployed on to different countries and actually kind of fighting for your own country and all that. And I kind of like the idea of serving the army, of being in the army. Particularly the Royal Engineers. You were a goody two shoes during primary and middle school. Oh my god. A lot of people think I'm a goody two shoes. Not always. I haven't always been a goody two shoes in primary school, particularly. I felt like from reception to year 4, I was really, really bad. Year 5 and year 6, I started to calm down a bit. Year 7, I used to not do my maths homework. Okay. I used to not do my homework at all. I try to avoid homework in year 7. Year 8, I started to actually kind of care about my academics. In year 5 and year 6, homework was just easy, so I could easily get homework done, even though I feel like some people felt like this as well, like in British schools, that the content was quite slow, but still, I got the homework done. But from reception to year 4, I was really bad. But I did come down in year 5 and year 6. Year 7, I started being bad, but I was good at the same time. And then year 8, I'd show off my rebellious side every so now and then, maybe once a month. You want to be married and have kids. True. I've always liked the idea of having kids. When I'm older, I want 3 kids, 2 girls and a boy. And I always, do you know what? I always like the idea of like marrying someone you're going to stay with for the rest of your life, and kind of, traveling. And I've kind of got that passion, and not many people know that about me, especially my family. So you never get sad, slash you're always happy. I do have my sad days. I do have days where I feel really upset, and I do have days where I'm like, well, I just don't feel myself. But I try and hide my emotions as much as I can. I did this quite a lot. I still do this, and I've always done this. I don't really like the idea of expressing kind of my sad side and kind of my emotions I'm feeling. So even if I was really angry at someone, I wouldn't want to express it, because just in case if I say stuff that might offend them, or just do stuff that might offend others. Yeah. You have a crush, slash you're in a relationship. I do have a crush, and it's not someone from my school, and it's not someone from cadet. It's actually someone I've kind of known for a long time, since I was a baby. I've got a crush on that person. Actually, I have more than one crush. Okay, I've got a crush on someone in my school, but it's not with. I'm not telling you who it is. I've got 2 crushes, but yeah. I don't know who to go for at this point because they're both good people, and yeah, so I'm single, but I'm crushing on people. Um, you never admit you're struggling at school or cadets as you are worried you will get judged. Okay, there's a difference between school and cadets. Okay, cadets is supposed to be a non-judgmental place, and I felt like I was judged for struggling. So even if I was stuck on like my first class classification stuff or stuck on like first aid, if I admit to that struggling, like an officer could call you stupid potentially. That's how I personally felt towards cadets, and yeah, but with school it's completely different because there's that pressure and I feel like there's an expectation that everyone thinks that I'm smart and that I'm really good and I always follow the rules and all that. But really, I do struggle at times mentally because I do struggle mentally. My physical struggles, I just hide. I have to try and hide it. I do feel like I struggle in certain lessons. Obviously, I have my good and my bad lessons, but I just don't admit to it. You want to do a master's degree? Yes, in law. To be fair, ever since my dad did his law degree, it inspired me to do law. Because I feel like law is one of those sorts of degrees that not many people want to do. I feel like people are just going off on their own route, but law is kind of one of those degrees that I don't think anyone wants to do because it's hard. Um, but yeah, um, especially the funny stories that my dad told me about doing law. Yeah, and I kind of like the idea of working with legal stuff and crime cases. I also want to get a degree in criminology and do a master's in that as well. It took a while to get over perfectionism. Okay, so if you don't know, throughout my primary school and my middle school years, it's stopped now, but it did take me a while to kind of get over perfectionism because a lot of people tell me not everyone's perfect, but like a lot of my friends told me that in primary school, but my teachers had to look at me as this perfect person, and the teachers expected me to be perfect at primary school. In middle school, however, it was just that one teacher that was like, hey, it's okay to make a mistake, and that nobody, like, obviously it will take you a while to get over this mistake, but for some people it just takes a minute to get over. So it's okay, like, to feel those emotions, but not everyone's perfect. Um, and it did take me a while to actually kind of switch over. I felt like towards the end of year 8, I got over perfectionism completely, but still, even now, I do have a little bit of perfectionism. Like with I hate the idea of failing. I really do. If I fail in a test or anything like that, I just hate it because I feel like everyone has this expectation that I'm really smart and all that. Um, and the fact that I may fail a test or something, that's my sister. The fact that like I failed a test or something, yeah, it just doesn't make me. It, yeah, it kind of messes me up. But also as well, it kind of, I feel like it makes your teachers look at you different. It and I feel like with tests it shows a lot about your personality. And I feel like I feel like my teachers look at me as like a smart person who knows what they're doing and who is very responsible. But I feel like with failing a test they'll look at me as an amateur. And yeah, you enjoy school way more than you do with cadets. Okay, there's a fine line between school and cadets, but school kind of takes over that cadet line, so it's like that. Um, but I wouldn't say I enjoy it more than cadets. It's equal. The number one thing I enjoy is doing piano. I love my piano teacher. He's amazing. So John, if you're watching this, hello. I love you, John. Yeah. But I certainly enjoy school. I love my teachers. I was about to say my French wife. I enjoy my teachers. I enjoy kind of walking into school every morning and actually doing something for 6 hours instead of staying in bed. Um, which I think a lot of us have been doing over the summer. But obviously, I don't have many friends, and it makes me enjoy school a little bit less, I suppose, because of the feeling of isolation. But obviously, I've gotten used to the fact I have no friends. I have gotten used to this for quite a while now. Um, and I still feel like even if I have friends, I still feel like I don't have any friends or I feel isolated. Um, just because I'm not a sociable person. I mean, I love talking to people, but I just don't like, actually going to someone and just, introducing myself and, And also, I don't want to be rude, but I don't generally like people. Okay. I get socially awkward in shops and all that because of people and all that. Um, it's because of this sense of me being socially awkward, um, and stuff like that. And I also feel like people can be so judgmental now, and yes, so people can be so judgmental now. My dad was like, when I was a child, not many people were judgmental, and if you were a judgmental person, you'll get shamed for because of like the whole idea with religion and all that back then. But I feel like now a lot of people are so judgmental and like, um, and can be extremists and yeah, people can say really horrible stuff about you, and I feel like that's going to happen to me. There's a juicy assumption we are going to get to in the end, but we are going to answer more assumptions. Um, you get sensitive easily. Not anymore. I used to get really sensitive if people were like judgmental about me and all that. If you asked me this a year ago, I would have said yes, but I feel like now I've kind of gotten over the fact that, I mean, to be fair, like, I get used to bullying quite quickly. If like people bully me the whole entire year, which people have, I get used to it, and do you know what? I just have to kind of ignore it and just kind of stick up for myself. Because at the end of the day, I'm going to be in the army, and in the army, you have to be a tough person. My dad says just don't cry in front of the army. Um, but yeah, at the end of the day, I have to be tough for myself. And I have to be tough for my dad as well, because I think that kind of shows him that I've got a strong personality and that I can, yeah. Um, your dad was in the army, true. I talk about this quite a lot, but my dad was in the armed forces for 7 years. He was in the army for 4 years and 7 months as a Royal Engineer. Not 7 months, a few. Yeah, it was 7 months actually. And then the RAF for 3 years. Um, okay, what happened was my dad dropped out of the army at 16, quite quickly. And he ended up doing his A levels, and then which was like 3 months, and then he was in the army for 4 years and 4 months. Then he went into the RAF as an aerospace operating person. You focus more on academics than cadets and family. Okay, I feel like this is true because when I go back to school, I'll be in year 10, so I'll be starting my GCSE options, and I feel like these are the years that actually should count, and the years where you have to actually work hard. And you know what, I feel like at the minute my number one priority is for me to focus and to actually focus on me getting in the army, getting good grades and all that sort of stuff, and kind of I can worry about my family later. My family understands that obviously I want to do well with my life and all that, but with cadets it's a completely different story. I feel like it's a completely different story, and it is really a completely different story with cadets. We'll talk about that later. You don't like Harry Potter anymore. This is false. I just don't talk about it anymore. There are other things I think I should be talking about. A lot of people think I don't like reading anymore. I still do. I still read quite a lot and all that. I just don't talk about that anymore. I just talk about being in the army and just army. Because of how much knowledge of the armed forces I've got. And so many people kind of ask me questions on it. You feel out of place in school / in society. Yeah. I feel like with my personality and all that, and the way I am, okay, if you do, and for those who know me, know that I've got a passion for the army, like being in the army and kind of academics and all that. And because of that, I feel like I'm so outplaced in my school. Like not many, I feel like not many people actually enjoy school, and not many people enjoy the things I like to do and the things I like. So I do feel out of place in a way, but I know there are people that actually kind of share that passion with me. Like cadets, at the end of the day, you're sharing that same passion, um, for whatever cadets you want are doing. And but then if you really think about it, your personality and your lives outside of cadets is completely different, and you could be completely different people. Um, that's I don't know. I do feel kind of out of place, and not many people like realize that. That's how I feel. A lot of people obviously, because of like the bullying I went through, especially with like over the last couple of years, um, people do bully me because of I'm so out of place from the rest of the school, and I do feel that sort of isolation. Obviously, there are clubs for me to participate in and all that, but really, I feel like if I go to a club, people will judge me. Um, and yeah, you've got an like, you don't want to be a prime minister anymore. Okay, I used to want to be prime minister in year 7 and year 8, but I still want to aim for that. It would be really cool if I was the UK's youngest prime minister. Like, it would be cool if there'll be like one day, hey, can your daughter be prime minister, please? If Liz was like, can your daughter take over for me, please? I feel like I'd be a good prime minister. I feel like I really want to kind of, yeah, kind of get my opinions heard and kind of put myself out there and put all the issues I care about out there. Like for instance, Ava, shut up. And sorry about that. That was my little sister. And one of the issues I want to talk like do about is like diet culture, and I feel I really want to ban the diet culture promotions in the UK, because of obviously I don't want people with eating disorders to feel like they need to be skinnier and they need to have a perfect body, because at the end of the day, I feel like everyone's body is beautiful in their own way, and like, yeah, it's all about I feel like it's all about your personality. Like, if you're like a really horrible person who likes to bully people and make them feel like left down, then to me that's just ugly. But if you are like a nice person who like cares about people, and cares about kind of what's going on around you, and kind of, yeah, and you you know just love who you are and all that, that to me is a beautiful personality. And um yeah, there's just kind of that difference. um but also as well, I want to kind of, with NHS mental health services, a lot of people say they're really bad, um, with the NHS mental health services, and I kind of want to make that better, like by actually getting more specialists, or like actually train NHS mental health staff on more than what they know, so then they can like kind of make everyone's mental health better. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, this the last few assumptions are a little bit juicy. You prefer one parent over the other. True. I prefer my dad over my mum, and there's a reason. I feel like with my dad, he understands kind of the struggles I go through day to day, and kind of he understands me as a person. Me and my dad have been through so much together, and we've kind of had that bond, and I just love my dad. My mum, however, I kind of haven't had that much enough. I feel like I haven't had much enough time with her. Yeah. This last assumption is quite juicy. I realise I have one more. You don't enjoy cadets, slash you left air cadets. True. So I don't know if anyone knows, but I've left air cadets kind of completely. Obviously I still got to give in my uniform, but that's all in the washer and all that. I just don't enjoy air cadets anymore. I feel like there has to be that fine line, and there has to be that extent where I want to leave. And the reason why I left, was obviously I enjoyed, like, doing the activities and all that, but I feel like it was to do with the people in my squadron and other cadets, and kind of that, just, I don't really want to go into it, but hopefully one day I can. I would love to go into it with you guys and kind of express that. But I do want to start doing army cadets actually, because of kind of how many more opportunities there are for me out there. Because with air cadets, also I feel like they haven't given me enough opportunities to go to camps due to eligibility stuff and all that. And I feel like there's not really many camps that like cadets like myself can go on. So yeah. So thanks for watching. I hope you guys enjoy. Um, this video is just a mess, but I'm hoping you enjoyed this year's assumptions video, and I'll see you in my next video.